Welcome to a review of what our limbs do once they're dismembered. We're talking I Lost My Body. Hello, I'm Hey, and I'm joined with Angelis today. All right, so this is I Lost My Body, a new animated film that came out on Netflix. It's a really interesting project that piqued my interest just from the poster. Angelis, do you want to go first with general thoughts about how you felt about this?
Oh, okay. I really liked it. I was hyped by it just because it's animated. And I haven't seen
McQueen.
exactly. And I haven't seen Klaus yet, but I think that Netflix is investing a lot in animation, and I think it's doing an amazing job with it.
Completely agree with that. I think what's so interesting is we're about to see the repercussions. I know, and I could be completely wrong on this, but I think we're going to see the repercussions of Love, Death, and Robots, or whatever that miniseries was that they did, um, because that very clearly was like, oh hey, whatever your animators want to do it. We don't care. Like, just make an episode, send us, and that seems to me like, oh hey, this is going to be a test for all these different types of animation people want to do. I mean, you mentioned Klaus, like that's an animated style that works really well. I Lost My Body works really well for this. They know they pair the animation style with what helps the film, and I just can't help but like shrug and see, like, I don't know, whatever Illumination's doing, and they always do the same animation, and Disney is doing the same animation, and I hope Pixar doesn't go that way. But as all that's happening, they're still releasing talented animated stuff, and I'm not saying there is a talent there. I just feel like it's not geared towards the actual project, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, exactly. I really like the way that it's not the typical 3D animation or something, but it goes with a more like old style of animation. It's 2D,
Sure.
but it also finds the way to combine it. Like some elements are 3D, like it's there, but it's not.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I was trying to figure out. I don't know. I thought it was really fascinating how they handled that.
yeah, like they make it out. They made it work really well. Like the combination of those two different styles of animation.
Yeah, and this is from director Jeremy Clapin. And I'll hand up here. My Netflix automatically set it to dub, so I did watch it dubbed. I thought it was fine. A couple people have been complaining that it's atrocious, but I thought it was pretty good. I thought the characters were engaging, but Angelis watched it in its intended way.
In French.
Yeah, but no, one thing that I think works really well is just the way they decide to tell this story. I think actually works in a really satisfying way. Because just I don't know how to explain it. It's like emotional, but in a sense of like a very spacious emotional way. I don't know. I don't have the words to describe like what was happening when I was watching it, but it's like there's a loneliness in it that's very emotional, but there's also like warmth, like a small warmth that's under that.
Exactly. It's thrilling. I love how we sympathize with the hand with a hand. It's a hand, but
I
somehow
get
we
it. Yeah.
care. Yeah, like we care about the hand and we want it to be okay. And I don't know. I love the how like we see everything from its perspective. Like it's a first person, and you feel the thrill of being a dismembered hand
Well,
going
and it
around.
like you're saying, it is a character. Like, they do a really good
Yeah,
job of just making you feel for this
for this
five
hand.
fingers and a nub. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that really, that paired with, so it sort of jumps back and forth between two stories. I won't get too far into it, but the way it does that, I feel like, is so engaging, because it never has a lull in it. Because every time I was like, there's like, yeah, there's stuff going on here. It'll go back to a different segment, and it's like, oh, this was neat. And I just thought the whole character development of our lead. I might be butchering this,
No,
but
no foil,
Mal
no foil.
Malfoy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought his whole progression was great. I thought he worked really well alongside Gabrielle. And they were both really well written characters, and I think this could have very easily just been a cheesy, forgettable, really talented animation style behind it. But I don't know. There's just a lot here that is paired with it, and this very easily, besides the hand being dismembered, this very easily, unless you're Tim Burton, I guess, but this very easily could have been live action. But I think the animated style lends itself to a lot of the things they try to do. And it makes, I won't get into it, but there's a scene towards the end that is very powerful that I don't think you get the same feel if it's in live action.
Oh yeah. I think we're thinking about the same scene, but yeah, like live action has its limitations, and I think an animated film it's way too much better because of that, because it feels natural. I mean, it's a running hand. It's a hand running free down the streets, but it feels natural somehow, and that's because like animation is the only like way to do that and make it feel normal. I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
no, it does it in a really organic way. I have one question real quick since we're in awards season. Do you think this has a chance at all to either be nominated for foreign film or animated film?
I was thinking of that actually when I was watching the movie. I really hope it gets a spot in the nomination for animated movies.
I'm worried
Um,
about it because I actually saw the critics who the Critics Choice Awards, who are usually like they're actually really interesting on their picks. And I believe it was How to Train Your Dragon, Toy Story 4,
Frozen 2.
I think it was Frozen 2. There were a couple. Oh, the Abominable. And there was
Oh,
a fifth
oh
one.
no.
Let me look that up while you keep talking.
Oh no. I mean that sounds like really sad. I mean, I don't have anything against some of those movies. Uh, but I think that like most of them are just like pretty forgettable. I don't know. Um, like there are some films, and it has happened in previous years, that there are a lot of more captivating with a very like better message movies, animated movies, but like the Oscars just ignores them and prefer nominate movies like The Boss Baby or Ferdinand. And yeah,
Well,
that's my problem.
another thing that I'd like to point out real quick is that I think sometimes the Oscars get confused, and I don't know about this for sure, but like anime films literally never get, besides Studio Ghibli,
Oh
anime
yeah,
films typically don't get nominated. Whereas like you're talking Boss Baby and A Silent Voice and Your Name weren't nominated, which is
exactly. That
crazy.
hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Oh
like I
man.
don't know. For example, A Silent Voice has this very strong message about a lot of things, um, and it's so I don't know. Like you really sympathize with all the characters and the story, and it stays with you. And it like the Oscars just decide to ignore um like animated foreign movies, and yeah, that sucks.
Sure. I'm gonna pause real quick to let my dog in.
Okay.
Hey, get in here. What? Stop barking outside. You know I'm recording. Okay. But yeah, one thing that that I sort of get frustrated with is okay, give me one sec. The dogs are still moving around.
Okay.
Can y'all go anywhere else, please? Do you smell the other dogs? Do you know I'm cheating?
Do you know
Izzy,
I'm
back up.
recording a video?
But yeah, one thing that I sort of want to make clear is I don't even hate the Boss Baby. It's not that. It's just when so many other animated studios, specifically because it's the category of animation, are like trying their best to come up with new animated styles and just be
Like Loving
creative.
Vincent.
Yeah, it's a little annoying to see, something that's not, again, like Boss Baby's made very much catered for children. I think it has its place. I actually think
Yeah.
Boss Baby's kind of fun in some parts, but as compared to like a Your Name or a Silent. Oh my God! Could you do that anywhere else, Daisy?
Oh my god.
Jesus!
It's so funny.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, I actually, I could be wrong because you're looking at Parasite, Pain and Glory, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, if that counts, and
Oh
then
no,
probably
it's gonna
Les
be Les
Miserables.
Miserables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are four right there. It would be interesting if an animated film was nominated for foreign, but I don't know. The Academy does not like foreign film, or sorry, they don't like
Yeah.
animated film.
No, no. Like talking about that again. Like I don't have anything with against Boss Baby either, but it's like you said. Like there are a lot of. I thought it was funny. I mean, I watched a part of it and I was like, oh yeah, this is funny. But like my problem is that that's why people think animated movies are just for children when they're
Com-
not. For example,
completely agree.
this is not for children. Like I don't
For
think
sure
a
not.
child
Even though
would
it has
like
a
it.
funny animated hand, it's
Exactly. It's like very mature. So yeah, or other movies that have been nominated, they're not like specifically for children. But yeah, like that's what I like. That it's an animated movie, but it has a very strong message, if that makes
yeah.
sense.
And one thing I like about what you're saying is I think it's comparable to something like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a very generic by the books biopic of this year because we've actually gotten some decent ones. But say Green Book came out this year, and if they decided to give it to, or like last year, Green Book instead of Roma. Green Book is a fine film, but it's not reinventing the wheel in any way or like doing something exceptionally special. And it's just a little annoying when the Academy is just like, oh yeah, just whatever's genuinely liked by most people. When
Yeah.
like so many films are like, okay, we're gonna try at 100% and see where this goes. But yeah, I'm hoping it gets a nomination for animation. But
Oh yeah, I really hope so too. Like I think that the Academy bases a lot of nominations just in popularity, but I really
sure,
hope
they're just like, oh, what made the most money this year? We don't watch kids'
exactly.
movies.
But I really hope that because it's on Netflix, a lot of people have a chance to see it in these holidays, and like it gets popular enough. So I don't know,
Sure,
it gets
maybe
nomination.
it might be competing with Klaus now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, I remember the fifth one now. It was Missing Link.
Oh, I haven't watched that one, but
It's
I
it's
really
got some
want to.
exceptional animation.
Yeah, I
I
really
will
want to
give it
because
that.
it's like and I'm like a fan. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's probably gonna do it. So we'll hit scores. All right, Angelis, what would you give this film out of 10?
I'm gonna go with a 9. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's very
I
high. I
like
was
that.
actually rating my top movies of this year, and I think this gets into my top 5 of the year. I don't know. I really
Nice.
liked it. Yeah, the music was amazing. The characters were amazing. I really liked it. Yeah, I think a solid 9 for me.
Nice. I'm going to go with probably like a 7.9. I'm not sure because literally both of us watched it today. Was really
Yeah,
impressed by a lot of stuff. Honestly, this is probably a movie I'll go back to. Just like,
in
well,
French.
yeah, in French, of course. But yeah, similar to The Irishman, which I guess is weird because we'll be. I guess I won't mention that one. Similar to a lot of the great films that I've loved, it's like, oh, I can't wait to rewatch this in a different context now, which I think is really telling of a film that's engaging. But that's going to be our review for I Lost My Body. If you have a limb that you would rather not lose,
Yes.
feel free to let us know in the comments. We got reviews coming out for The Irishman, Klaus. I'm trying to think. Star Wars coming up, Cats, a bunch of other films. I'm trying to think of other things that have. Oh, Knives Out, spoiler discussion. Yeah. Pain and Glory is out. That's true in Spanish if you want. If you need
Frozen
to learn.
2.
Yeah. All right. So that's going to do it. Thank you, Angelis.
Thank you, Hey, for having me.
And thank you guys for listening.